sadar tanah air aku bertuah di sini tempatku berjasa.
The collapse of the Central Powers, namely Germany and Austria-Hungary, brought about an end of World War I. It was marked by a series of assurances and promises and agreements made in the form of treaties, signed and entered into by most of the countries involved in World War I. One treaty was called the Treaty of Versailles.
Okay guys, perjanjian Versailles mengandungi 4 perkara yang paling penting. Ada 4 perkara. Pertama ialah Jerman mestilah bertanggungjawab terhadap kemusnahan selepas peperangan. Nombor 2 ialah dia mesti membayar pampasan kepada Pakatan Bertiga. Nombor 3, dia mestilah menghadkan saiz angkatan tentera. Dan yang keempat ialah dia mesti menyerahkan sebahagian tanah jajahan dia kepada negeri-negeri yang telah menang seperti Britain, Perancis dan juga Rusia. Okey, itu 4 perkara.
Germany felt all these concessions were far too much to bear, yet they had no choice but to sign the Treaty of Versailles. The end of World War I brought a period of prosperity to the United States. It was the time of the Roaring Twenties. It was a time of automobiles, the growth of industry, dancing and celebrating. Women won the right to vote. The world was working to recover from the devastation of World War I. But the recovery was not to last. Over the horizon, a great unforeseen evil was about to appear, and the horrible death and destruction of World War I, the war which was to end all wars, would be a distant memory. In 1933, Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. But soon after, he usurped great power to become dictator and through his Nazi party ruled in bloody fear and terror throughout Europe. Hitler's position was that Germany should not, could not, and would not abide by the Treaty of Versailles. An alliance was formed between Hitler of Nazi Germany, the fascist regime of Italy with its dictator Mussolini, and Emperor Hirohito of the Empire of Japan. They were termed the Axis powers. Each regime had its individual goals to expand their power and control throughout their region of the world, and though each member of the Axis agreed not to interfere with each other, they, however, did not combine their efforts. They rarely assisted each other. They did not have a master plan. Tensions ran high throughout Europe. In 1935, Benito Mussolini, the fascist dictator of the Kingdom of Italy, sought to enlarge his power and influence by aggressively colonizing across the Mediterranean Sea the country of Ethiopia and northern Africa. The Empire of Japan continued its hostilities against China and throughout Asia and the islands of the Pacific Ocean. On September 1st, 1939, Hitler's Nazi Germany invaded Poland. This bold act of violence occurred unprovoked. Poland was no threat to Germany, but Hitler's plan was to dominate and rule all of Europe and beyond. The Nazis invaded Poland. To the major countries nearby, this act of aggression could not continue unanswered. 2 days later, Great Britain and France declared war on Germany. World War II had just begun, and it was just revving up. The countries which formed an alliance to oppose the Axis nations and stop them in their pursuit of unwanted domination was called the Allied Powers, or the Allies. Members of these Allied countries were France, Great Britain, Belgium, Denmark, New Zealand, Norway, South Africa, Poland, China, Greece, the Netherlands, and the countries belonging to the United Kingdom, and Yugoslavia. The Allied powers did not seek to rule the world, nor to dominate other countries. Their purpose was to form a rebellion against the Axis and their wanton disregard for human rights, and their work of invasion and widespread murder and cruel torture. Canada, Australia, Brazil, and the Soviet Union joined with the Allies. The United States of America did not join up with the Allied powers at this time. They were simply
Okey, ketika Perang Dunia Kedua telah pun meletus di sebahagian Eropah, tapi Amerika Syarikat masih lagi belum menyertai Pakatan Bersekutu. Kenapa agak-agak? Disebabkan oleh kerana mereka terkesan dengan kematian yang banyak oleh askar-askar mereka dan juga perbelanjaan yang begitu banyak ketika mereka cuba menjadi hero pada peperangan yang pertama. Jadi mereka cuba untuk mengelak diri daripada menceburkan diri dalam Perang Dunia yang kedua ni sebenarnya, walaupun mereka mempunyai kekuatan yang banyak pada ketika itu.
as long as they could, until an event so horrendous would cause the United States to change their position.
Okey, kita tengok kepada faktor yang telah mendorong kepada Perang Dunia Kedua. Ada 3 faktor utama. Ambil pensel, salin. Perkara pertama ialah kemunculan ideologi baru. Di Itali, Benito Mussolini telah membawa negara dia mengikut fahaman fasisme, dan mereka telah menjadi kerajaan pada tahun 1922. Ingat 10 tahun kemudian, 11 tahun kemudian, 1933, Nazi pula telah menjadi kerajaan di Jerman. So dua kuasa ini sangat mempengaruhi Perang Dunia yang pertama, ideologi tadi. Okey. Faktor yang kedua ialah ketidakpuashatian Itali terhadap perjanjian Versailles. Okey. Jerman pun tak puas hati, Itali pun tak puas hati. Jerman rasa macam dia terlalu dihukum oleh Perang Dunia Pertama. Jadi mereka telah terpaksa membayar segala-gala kemusnahan yang telah berlaku. Dan Itali pula, dia termasuk dalam golongan yang telah melawan Jerman tetapi tidak dianugerahkan ataupun tidak mendapat pampasan yang sewajarnya. Jadi mereka ini rasa macam tak patut dia tak dapat macam tu. Dan ketiga ialah kegagalan liga-liga bangsa. Okay, liga-liga bangsa ni kita katakan macam UN lah, United Nations sekarang. Tetapi liga-liga bangsa ketika itu tidak dianggotai oleh negara-negara yang kuat. Jadi mereka ni tak mampu untuk mengontrol Jerman, Itali semua ni. Okey. Okey, 4 faktor tercetusnya Perang Dunia Kedua di Eropah ialah pertama, penaklukan Jerman terhadap Eropah Barat. Kedua ialah pengeboman Britain, di mana pada September 1940 sehingga Jun 1941, Britain telah dibom sebanyak 71 kali. Kemudian penyertaan Itali dalam Perang Dunia Kedua di Eropah, dan juga yang terakhir ialah serangan Jerman ke atas Rusia, di mana Jerman telah melancarkan operasi Barbarossa, iaitu serangan besar-besaran untuk menawan Rusia. Pada 22 Jun 1941, Hitler telah mengarahkan lebih 3 juta askar dengan kelengkapan 3,350 biji tank, 2,270 kapal terbang bagi menawan Rusia. Dan mereka telah berjaya menghampiri Leningrad dan juga Moskow. Kuasa bersekutu telah memberi bantuan kepada Rusia, di mana askar-askar Hitler telah berjaya dikekang dan mereka telah menyebabkan kematian hampir 1 juta rakyat biasa pada ketika itu. Okey, kita tengok Jepun pula. Jepun telah memulakan serangan ke atas Amerika Syarikat pada 7 Disember 1941, dan serangan yang telah mengorbankan seramai 3,581 orang di Hawaii ni, di Pearl Harbor, telah menyebabkan Amerika Syarikat telah mengisytiharkan perang pada keesokan harinya. Dan Amerika Syarikat telah secara ofisialnya menceburi Perang Dunia yang kedua.
after which Admiral Yamamoto of Japan was quoted as saying, "I fear all we have done is to awaken a sleeping giant and fill him with a terrible resolve. The United States joined the Allies to help prevent the spread of tyranny. The Battle of Midway was an important victory for the Americans against Japan in the Pacific. Many battles would be fought, some lost and some won by the Allied powers. But a series of important victories began to decisively change the tide. The invasion of Italy by the Allies resulted in the surrender of Mussolini's fascist regime. June 6, 1944, D-Day. The Allies stormed the beaches of France at Normandy and gained an important victory. And later, at the Battle for Paris, Nazi Germany surrendered to the Allies, and France became free once again. The final major European battle occurred at the invasion of Germany, in Berlin, by the Western Allies. With the Nazi resources diminished due to losses during the Battle of the Bulge in Belgium, Luxembourg, and France, which was the bloodiest battle of the war, and which gave the Allied powers a surprising victory, Nazi Germany was unable to resist the Allied invasion of the capital city of Berlin. Again, the Allies were victorious. Imperial Japan continued their aggressions until August 6, 1945, when President Harry S. Truman ordered the most devastating weapon ever conceived, the atomic bomb, be dropped on the city of Hiroshima, Japan. 3 days later, another atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. This has been the only time a nuclear weapon had been used in warfare. The cities were laid to waste. The result of the massive and extensive heat wave caused by the blast from both bombs in both cities was immeasurable. The toll in Hiroshima and Nagasaki was more than 100,000 dead or missing, and more than 180,000 severely injured. Hospitals destroyed, most of the doctors and nurses killed. Radiation sickness and injuries would have a crippling effect for decades. Never had man unleashed a weapon of such brutal destruction. Within days, Imperial Japan offered total and unconditional surrender. World War II brought extensive carnage throughout Europe, the Soviet Union, Hawaii, Asia, Japan, and Africa. Tens of millions killed, mostly civilians. Tens of millions injured, tortured, captured, and suffering disease and starvation. The close of World War II would bring judgment and justice to the leaders of the Axis powers. Mussolini would be executed. Hitler would be killed by a self-inflicted gunshot. For many years following, war criminals would be hunted throughout the world and captured and tried in the international courts. The United States and the Soviet Union would rise as superpowers, dividing and controlling Eastern and Western Europe, and in 1961, the Berlin Wall separating Germany would be constructed. World War II.
Okey, World War II dah tamat. Okey. Cikgu harap awak akan dapat sesuatu daripada video yang cikgu tayangkan, dan lepas ini cikgu akan keluarkan pula video tentang bagaimana kependudukan Jepun, apakah faktor Jepun datang ke tanah negara kita, dan akhirnya bagaimana dasar-dasar Jepun semasa mereka menjadi penjajah di tanah Melayu. Okey, jangan lupa subscribe. Bye.